We then proceeded at that point into our simulated countdown.
Lunchtime, kids!
All right!
Yum, 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 yum.
Hello, friends. It's lunchtime.
Hello, friends, indeed. How's it going there? Nothing like a last minute getting things plugged in. That seems to be our MO here lately.
In hot.
Coming in
Yes,
hot.
as they
That's the way
say.
we do it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I am Josh. In studio with me is Zach. In the production room is Matthew. Hello there, sir. Anna is not here. She's on a I guess a day off. She's
Pour one out for Anna.
Yeah, I think she went to some sort of like social media tech conference.
Oh, really?
She's trying to like learn stuff.
Wow.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Why don't we get invited to things like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
as if she can't learn enough here. The learning
yeah.
trees that are the three of us.
Us being as savvy as we are about all things social. So we're going to have an exciting show today. Today we're talking about, right off the bat, a brand new way to prevent people from breaking into your car. Phenomenal.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've been seeing all over my next door, there are car break-ins constantly in my neighborhood. So I've even had someone rifle through our cars while I was literally in the living room, and I heard my own car door slam.
They slammed it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Because
just...
there's nothing good in there.
I guess not. No, they took our insurance. That was the only thing that was taken, was our insurance card. And
That's
I'm
weird.
not really sure. I don't know if there was some sort of identity theft thing going on there. Nothing ever happened. This was a couple
Probably sleuth that out.
So, well, this was a couple of years ago, so
Yeah.
nothing, as far as I know, ever happened. But yeah, people rifling through cars.
Nice.
Have you ever had your car broken into?
No, but my parents are up in the great state of Michigan, of course, where everything is great and nothing bad ever happens. And they had an incident with their car up there. They left their car unlocked one night and came out the next morning. And this is this is their place out in the country, like out in the middle of nowhere, where like nobody is, and they barely get cell phone service. And if something happens to you, like you good luck getting 911 out there. Like so far out in the boonies. And yeah, somebody went through their car. They took my dad's cool new pair of Ray-Bans that he got for his birthday. Bummer.
Ray-Bans?
Polarized too, good ones. And yeah, really a bummer. I didn't think car theft was still a thing. Who's still lifting cars? I think in the age of keyless locks and security alarms and who knows what, this wouldn't still be a problem.
I had a friend that lived in New Orleans, and where she lived in New Orleans, she said you just didn't lock your doors because they would just smash your windows.
Yeah.
So you left your door unlocked.
It's just cheaper.
And left everything open so they could see inside.
See that there's nothing
And
there.
otherwise, yeah, it just saved you time.
So that's my wife's theory on this whole thing, is just leave it open. Which I've never had she says she's had her windows broken in the past.
Yeah.
I never have had that happen. And my thinking is we have our garage door openers in there. So if somebody wanted to access to the house,
yeah.
if you leave your door open, you're giving them that. So I always lock my door. I always try to, but yeah, I try not to keep anything valuable in there at least.
My move is drive a crappy car. Yeah, nobody thinks to lift a hail-damaged 2006 Camry. That's for sure.
The worst was in the
That's
90s.
me.
The worst was in the 90s when you had your whole grip of CDs in there,
Oh,
and somebody
yeah.
would come in, take all your music.
Just grab the whole thing in one shot.
Man,
Like,
I've had a lot of friends that lost their entire music collection.
Take my
Savage.
life, but not my CD sleeves. Come
Like
on,
that Tool
sir.
album that I've been hanging on to.
Like there wasn't enough piracy in the age of LimeWire. Now we're
Yeah.
stealing physical media anyway.
Come on. So this guy has the hack.
It's funny enough, Christine checked in and said her mom lost her collection of 200 CDs just as I
200 CDs.
That's a lot,
A lot of
man.
good George Strait in there. Let me tell you.
That's
Christine's
a lot
mom's
of.
got some.
That's
good
a lot
picks.
of. I mean, nowadays, if someone steals your music, you just easily get it back. If someone were to steal your phone, you could just re-download all that stuff.
Right.
But 200 CDs, that's investment.
How are
That's
you going
money.
through that? How are you going through 200 CDs when
Oh,
you're driving?
yeah. No, it's your buddy that's running shotgun who's like
DJ.
flip.
Oh man,
flip,
Christine's
flip.
mom had one of those like 5 CD car switcher things where you could have a bunch loaded in. She had a whole thing worked out. 200 CDs get lifted out of a car.
That's
Bummer.
That's a shame.
Anyway,
That's a shame.
I
How
can't
do we
wait to
protect
find
ourselves?
out. Yeah,
Speaking,
what
of,
the
speaking of CDs, I love the Creed album.
solid segue.
Because I almost made that reference and I thought, no. Speaking of CDs, we had someone come in earlier today that wanted us to play certain music for their intro for the
Yeah.
show that they do here.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal show. Check it out, a cappella.
It's on the page.
Yep, on the page. But they brought in a CD to like play the music.
The second she said that, I was like, oh no.
Oh, no. So you see, we have like literally tens of thousands of dollars worth of tech.
Look at all this technology in here, people.
Yeah. And
You know what you won't find in here? A CD player.
CD.
Right.
And we all go, and none of us had a CD player. Luckily, we found some older laptop that had one. But man, there was like a moment of dread.
I struggle to feel bad about that. I really do.
No.
Yeah.
We should have a CD-ROM player.
If you go to a car dealership to buy a car, if you want a CD player in there, like you almost have to special order it. Like it's just not a thing anymore. So if you roll in with a floppy disk and you're like, "Hey, can you get something off here?" It's like
that's
you
not what
can't.
she
expect-
did.
you
If
can't-
she did
no,
that-
you can't expect society to keep up with you.
No.
And pander. Like you gotta come. You gotta come up.
Don't
Give me a
just-
Spotify link. Like I'll pull that
Don't
music. That's not a
Spotify
problem for me.
link.
Apple Music, got it. But a CD is asking a little much. But we did have a CD.
We did.
drive.
We
We
figured
made
it out.
it happen. Rest assured, we come correct.
Come correct. Now, if you have a floppy, you're out of luck.
Right.
But,
That's true.
Waiting for someone to roll in with a mini disc player.
Yeah, the hack getting back on track. Good Lord, sorry about that. The hack that this person found to keep their car secure had nothing to do with the little arm car. What was that
club?
called? The club.
Yeah.
Nothing
Sure.
to do with the club. No Viper. No those little sound alarm things.
Yeah.
They just put dirty underwear in there.
What, one pair?
Well, if it's bad enough, sure.
Oh, come on. It had to have been a few pairs. But okay, what was the play
So,
here? You leave it on the driver's seat and hang over the steering wheel?
This guy's company is he sells you.
This is a company?
This guy on eBay
Yeah.
goes, hey,
He's selling on eBay.
I'll sell you dirty underwear to put in your car. No one's going to want to break into it. Which, I'll be honest, I saw a car yesterday at, I was at the Market Street, or the Central Market here in Plano, and there was clearly a hoarder next to me. Like, all the way, only place to sit. Everything else was just boxes of junk. And
Was it
stuff.
mail? I've seen that a lot.
It
Like
was
mail piled up.
It was like also there's like food in there. It's got to reek. And I thought I would never break into that car ever, ever. You put a G-Wagon, I'm gonna think about it. That car, nah, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So the dirty underwear, they're on to something.
Wrap it around the steering wheel.
This has to be a couple of things.
It's like I'm a thief, but I have my standards.
Right. Stick it in the glove box. Oh! A couple things. One, this has to be tampered dirty underwear. He has to have done something else to it, right? Hit it with like a
I think all dirty underwear is
something.
tampered with,
Funny,
right?
Funny, hilarious. There you go. Like, I mean, you have to have gone the extra mile. It's not like you wore this for
Right,
a day. And
this
you were
is
like,
not
well, here
just,
you go. You
it
can have
needs
it
a wash.
Right. You had to.
Yeah.
This has got to be a week-long wear or something. It's
This
gotta
is,
be
I'm never wearing this ever
particularly
again.
heinous dirty underwear. And two,
Dark business has happened.
I think, hear me out, if you're the kind of person cruising eBay and you see this entrepreneur selling dirty underwear to put in your car and you think that's the thing for me, you don't have anything in your car that anybody wants. No way. You're not the kind of person that has
How?
something in your car that somebody thinks, I got to break into this guy's sweet whip and get whatever I need out of it. There's no way. Why are you like that?
Everybody could have something in
those
their
two
car.
lifestyles do not fall in line with each other. You're not driving a freaking Corvette and getting home to sit down in your super luxurious apartment in your penthouse downtown and like living the high life and thinking this guy on eBay's got what I need.
No, I can guarantee there are people with Corvettes and nice apartments that are buying dirty underwear off the internet.
Yeah, but not for car security.
Touche.
Oh, dear
Well
God.
done. Well
Well
played.
done. So
Yes.
on that note, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have Robin in studio.
What an
Robin
introduction.
is with the DJCC, and she is talking all about Christmas in July. That and more coming out next.
good friend of mine who owns this mall. He had them close the whole shopping mall, and
Yeah, now people will know who you are when you put the glove on. What's the gun? Big red. That is red. Big red.
it was a lot of fun. It gave me a chance to see, in my way, kind of what the real world is like, even though it wasn't the real thing. Eventually.
You got a hot take, Josh?
How sad is that?
He's the king of pop. What do you mean
No,
sad?
I mean it's sad that like that's what he thinks he has to do to get a grocery store experience. Like
I love the Muzak version of his tune.
sure.
There. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
no, it's just like it's one of those deals that he had to rent out an entire grocery store,
Right.
have just friends and extras come in and walk around. You want to know how I know you're rich? That's how you spend your time. The thing that I dread doing every Saturday is what you've paid
That's all you want to do.
hundreds of thousands of dollars to get done.
I got another clip in there, another break if we want to
It'll come
revisit
up.
that. Yeah, he definitely mentions in there it's like going to Disney for him because it's like he's never. I mean, like he's Michael Jackson. Anywhere that dude would go, everybody would know who he is. Immediately
Right.
want a photo
Yeah.
or a signature, selfie. I mean,
Sure.
he wasn't around the age of selfies. I get it in a way. Like, of
Yeah.
course, you could never have a normal ever in your life have a normal experience like that. So that's what you got to do. So it's kind of a bummer, but in a way, heartwarming.
Yeah. So we're joined in studio right now with Robin. Hello, Robin.
Hey, fellas.
How's it going?
Good, good.
There we go.
My
You're
apologies.
With
Totally
Turn
ready
her
on the
mic
mic.
up.
That
you're
was
with
me.
the
yeah.
DJCC.
Yes, the Dallas Junior Chamber of Commerce.
How long have you been? Sorry.
No, so
You mind
something
if I-
that Zach,
Yeah.
Zach's been involved with.
I've had a little bit to do with the DJCC. I was the host of their podcast for a real long time, which was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Went to a lot of DJCC events. Robin, how long have you been tangled up with the Dallas Junior Chamber of
Oh,
Commerce?
man. It's been about 5 years now.
5
A little over,
years.
yeah.
All right. And what were you like? Why? I guess why get involved with a chamber
Well,
of young professionals?
yes.
Networking, or I mean, what was it?
Yeah, it's just a way to get plugged into the community. You know, I was kind of at a point where all my friends were either married or had kids, which is great. I was so happy with them, but I just kind of wanted to reach out and meet more like-minded people. I'm very business oriented, and it's just amazing to meet all the young and successful people in Dallas and just get to network with them. And I've met some amazing people. These are like lifelong friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we're just going to be friends forever. This is my second family. We've all kind of adopted each other. A lot of people are transplants from different places around the country, around the world. And so it's really just a centralized point where we can all get together and do stuff for the community and kind of just get involved.
Being that you're here on behalf of the DJCC, it seems like you're probably more than just your average member. Walk me through you being a part of the organization for 5 years. I mean, did you start with a happy hour and now you're, I don't know, where are you?
Yeah. You start with a happy hour and then you kind of get sucked into their little cult, which is, I mean, cult, it's such a bad word, but
Sure.
it really is so much fun. Actually, what we're going to talk about is Christmas in July coming up. And the first year that we had Christmas in July, this event, I chaired it.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of threw me in there. They were like, hey, do you want to do this? And I said, yeah. And they're like, okay, you're done. You're good.
Right.
Yeah, you're in.
No training wheels
We
here.
rope you in.
Trial
Yeah.
by fire.
Yeah, so I chaired this event and just got more and more involved in the events, and it was so cool getting that experience just working as a team with people from all different walks of life and just doing something bigger than ourselves. And then I was on the board for a few years. I did memberships. So
Okay.
that was fun because I was like, I was meeting everybody that touched the Dallas Junior Chamber. They had to come through me first. So,
Oh, gosh.
I know. It's
a lot of people.
So I guess yeah, but they had the right girl for it. So.
Okay.
No.
Well, sure.
No,
Yeah.
but it was a lot of fun. So I did the did the board thing for a few years, and then I kind of stepped back, but I still wanted to be involved. You know, I wanted to pursue other things with my time, but I can't leave it. I can't.
Right.
You know, once you're in because
man.
these people are just so cool. So
It's a good place to be. So let's talk about Christmas in July. How long has this thing been going on, and what did it start for, and what's it about?
This is our 5th annual Christmas in July.
Number 5.
Number 5, and
Yeah.
it started as the brainchild of one of our other very prominent members, Charles, and it's for the kids. It's for Jonathan's Place, and Jonathan's Place is a safe house. It's a safe house for kids. They don't have anything. They come from nothing, or they're taken away from their families. And this place is so awesome because it gives them a home and gives them a bed and friends and a family and an education. I mean, I could just go on and on about Jonathan's Place. So we donate. So we the first year we raised money for Jonathan's Place, and then we also collected toys for Toys for Tots.
Gotcha.
Yes, and now it's kind of evolved. The first year was a nice little cocktail gala party.
Sure, yeah.
And then the first 2 years and then it evolved into a pub crawl because who doesn't, you know, there's Uptown has a lot to offer.
Sure, young
for pub
professionals,
crawls.
Uptown, pub crawl. It all makes sense.
Yes, yes. And now it has morphed into a pool party. Which,
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. We're doing
when
a
did
pool
that
party.
happen? I missed the pool party.
Yeah, no, you haven't missed it yet.
Oh,
It's it's July 21st at the Lorenzo Hotel from 4 to 11 p.m. So it's almost all day thing. It goes from early evening on into the late night. So it's gonna be a blast.
That'll be rad. I remember doing the pub crawl. It was a lot of fun, and it was good to get a lot of people out, but there was definitely a little bit of an element of like, well, I'm going to be on for the first 3 bars, then I'm going to get out of here, or I'll come around for the last 2, like a little bit of split up. Having one central location and having such an Instagrammable place like the Lorenzo pool, that'll be choice, I think.
Yes, because we're all melting after the cocktail party.
Yeah.
After the pub crawls, you know, you're walking around Uptown. It's during the day, and everybody's melting. So why not go to the pool and cool off? And you know,
it's definitely a little toasty. And are you still working with Jonathan's Place and or Toys for Tots?
No, now it's all going to a portion of the proceeds does go to Jonathan's Place, but we are collecting choice items now. We do have a list on our website and on the Facebook page, so go check that out.
We'll probably have a hot link in the comments, right?
Yeah,
It's already there.
Okay, nice. I was gonna say, just gonna throw one of the other guys on that. Yeah, sure.
That's
that one
such
on.
an
Yeah.
awesome
Nice
team
moves.
here.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, there are choice items. It's things that kind of get looked over. A certain age range that gets looked over. So we have requested, you know, their most requested items because there's a lot of older kids there.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want Legos again. You know, I'm 15.
Sure.
So I don't know. I
36
still play with
and I
Legos.
got Legos. What are you talking about?
They're rated 6 to 99, so I don't know what the problem
But they've
is.
gotten a lot of those,
That's
so we want to
true.
give them a more variety. And what this goes to is this is a reward room where if they do good deeds and you know, do their chores and they're on top of things over at the house, they reward them and they get these items. Because they don't have their own money, they don't have jobs, they can't go out and buy these things. They don't have parents to buy them for them.
Yeah.
You know, so they earn them, and it's so amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
If folks want to get involved, if you're not a DJCC member and you maybe want to figure this out anyway, you want to be a part of it, if you are a DJCC member, where can people find out more? How can they be a part of this?
Yes, you can find us on Twitter at the Dallas Junior Chamber. That's our handle. Instagram, are we DJCC?
Yeah.
DJCC. And then Facebook, Dallas Junior Chamber. And then also online, we do have a website, www.dallasjuniorchamber.com.
Perfect. That's July 21st?
July 21st at the Lorenzo Hotel. They just opened this new pool. Guess what, guys? You can come. You can enter into the raffle. The Lorenzo Hotel is giving away free memberships. These memberships are $500.
Yeah, they're no joke.
Yeah.
And it's for a reason, because it's a sweet pool, I'll be honest.
It really is.
Pretty
It's kind of
slick.
one of those places like you go to see and be seen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited.
Totally. All right. Well, Robin, thanks for joining us on the show,
Thanks for
talking to us
having
about
me.
July, Christmas in July. You're going to have to come on again at some point and talk about how it went.
Yes. Oh, I will. I will.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But I'll see you guys there. I mean, you're going to be there, but we got to tell our
Sure.
audience.
Of course.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Sarah Strackhouse coming in with news.
even Elizabeth Taylor was there. She was on the cover of this magazine.
What are you looking at? Where's your card? It is. Oh, that one right there. What?
Everybody was messing with me, trying to steal my card.
Yeah, play. He's like, I gotta buy that.
Michael Bay.
This is my first shopping experience in 30 years.
Just remember, Michael Jackson ice cream.
It was just like being at Disneyland, in my opinion, because I got to do something that I usually don't get to do.
Oh my God! It gets sadder. It gets sadder. Like
If he wanted the true experience, somebody should have kicked him out for playing frisbee with the pie pan.
Pie
you
tin.
out of here, punk. Yeah.
Man.
It really
Imagine
is
that
sad.
being your Disney World.
It's a shame. Well, he used to go hang out at Disney World, and they'd give him the run of the place. They'd close down parts of the park so he could just run around and do the whole thing by himself. It's Michael Jackson.
nice.
He was in that cool Epcot video, Captain
EO.
Captain EO, yeah, Matt with the Captain
random
EO
trivia
drop.
went
me.
over there.
On
Yeah.
top
Hey,
of
you
it.
remember I had the smooth criminal organ grinder? I got some Michael Jackson stuff in the works. Sure, he's king of pop.
Is there more of that sad stuff coming? Are we good, or is that
No, that was the end of the
Okay.
the Michael Jackson stuff for
Jeez.
today.
Highlight, I don't know who it was on the receiving end of the pie tin frisbee contest, but man, throwing a pie tin frisbee in a grocery store with Michael Jackson, it's got to be
that's got to be a bucket list.
that's bucket list item. I mean,
yeah.
has to be.
Totally.
And there's video footage.
And
Proof.
there's video
Yeah.
footage, yeah.
So sorry, Strackhouse, to get sidetracked as we
no,
always
fine.
do. But the news today.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
sad stories starting off.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Yeah.
But the top news story of the day, 5 people are dead after shooting in Annapolis, Maryland. CNN reports that it happened at Capital Gazette, and police say it was a targeted attack. Apparently, a gunman fired through a glass door of the newsroom. The 5 dead are all employees of the newspaper. Some of those were journalists. People say that the suspect might have had a connection to the paper through social media. Of course, they are still investigating that tidbit. He's in his late 30s and was found hiding under a desk after the shooting. So something pretty bizarre in this story is that initially police had a tough time identifying the man because his fingertips were altered. So they did eventually use facial recognition. According to law enforcement, he about an hour ago they were saying that he was not being cooperative. So they are still investigating what the motive is there.
So I read a report. He's 38 years old, and he's had a long history of writing letters to the of threats to the newspaper, which is it's like a really weird paper to go after.
Yeah, and there was a lawsuit, but apparently it was dismissed and dropped years ago.
Yeah.
I think they had, if I remember correctly, they had published something that he was not a fan of, or maybe even referenced him.
It did, yeah. He said it was defamation.
Right.
So he was going after them. So, sad story there.
Yeah. Moving on, the Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy announced his retirement Wednesday, and now the quest to fill his spot has begun. Fox News reports that right now they're going through possible nomination options. The president met with a bipartisan group of 6 senators to talk about that open spot. Most are saying that they want to find someone who had similar beliefs and views to Justice Kennedy. And keep in mind, this will be the second nomination that President Trump will be able to kind of lift up. He had Neil Gorsuch at the beginning of his term. So it'll be the second one he gets a say in.
And the big thing with this guy is that he was always the moderate. He's known as
Very
the swing
moderate.
judge.
Yeah.
But again, for everyone who's like keeping tally, all the votes were his swing. He always swung conservative. So
he was appointed by Reagan, but a lot of people looked at him as the, if there was a 5-4, he was the one that was on the fence usually.
Yeah.
And the other people said he was really kind, compassionate. So they're trying to find someone to fill those shoes. Apparently, very big shoes to fill.
Good luck.
Yes. Good, good luck. Taken. The third story, immigration still topping headlines. Again, The Guardian reports 600 people were arrested yesterday in Washington over an immigration protest. Trump signed an executive order last week to keep families together, but the protest is in response to the zero tolerance policy that went ahead and went in place last month at the beginning of May. The nonviolent protest was right at the U.S. Senate office building. Many were chanting, "Abolish ICE" and "We Care." Now, of course, remember we did that story previously about Melania's jacket, and it was in response to that. So the arrests, though, haven't discouraged any protesters. Apparently, they are coming out in masses tomorrow across the country. In fact, there's one right here in Dallas planned for 10 a.m. Talking about, again, the same issue. It's after a call from Women's March and the Center for Popular Democracy Action.
So the marches, the 600 are pressed. They don't all go to jail.
No, they were just processed and immediately released.
Okay, so and that's why it's not discouraging anyone. There's no actual you're not having have a bologna sandwich in a cell.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see. I mean, it said it was nonviolent. I'm wondering what did they get arrested for?
For encroaching on space and apparently acting inappropriately in an office building.
Okay, gotcha.
So
you can.
That sounds scandalous.
It's a 25 feet away from the building kind of protest thing rule, I guess. That
I can
makes
find the
sense.
exact.
Because I figured I was like, you must have gone to a place you can't go or can't do that. Like it's DC. There's a lot of places you can. Yeah, so that's weird, but whatever.
I'm always amused by the protest that they have. Like the city gives you this little lot to protest, and it's far away from everything.
Sure.
And you're in a little fenced area.
Yeah.
You're holding signs. No
Here's
one
your
can
protest.
see you. No one can hear you.
Big respect for the First
Kind of
Amendment
loses
in
the
protest.
Yes, exactly. The exact charges were unlawfully demonstrating inside the office building.
All right, so they went in the building.
Yes.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
That was dumb. Yeah,
Not so much. One thing you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Something else you shouldn't be doing, running around naked and going into 53-degree water.
Oh, who says?
But actually it was for a good cause. Earlier this month, bystanders watched thousands of naked women plunge into 53-degree water.
There's
in
a creep shot video of this. Or the top of a hill.
There were so many pictures.
So I guess
in
it's
this
probably
article.
there was a lot of. I was cruising for pictures for this, and there was a lot that we could not use on this family-friendly show.
It literally would have been a complete blur.
Yeah, the alabaster skin just running into the water.
So was this like a polar bear club kind of thing?
No, actually. So the crowd of more than 2,500 actually were there. They were trying to break a Guinness World Record for largest skinny dip, and they did. They succeeded. The Huffington Post reports that the previous record was by less than 800 participants in Australia 3 years ago. So they crushed them. But this is it's an annual event called Strip and Dip. Kind of a cool name.
Because of course it is.
Rhymes,
and it's actually to raise money in support of local cancer charities. So it's open to any woman who's been affected by cancer, and it's supposed to push them to retake their bodies back. And you got something to say?
I'm just wondering who the guy that had to be there to count everyone that went in the water. You know when they we're looking for someone to go to Ireland to do the skip and dip. Me. I'll go.
I'll take one for the team and go this time.
Yeah.
But apparently they raised a lot of money. They raised 150,000 euros for a children's cancer charity.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I know.
You know. Never a good chance so always a good chance to go out and get nude for a good cause. When we come back, we have there's a lot of stories that Zach sent us, and we can't talk about a lot of them. I don't know if you were trying.
Can we not?
They were great.
Can we not?
We cannot. No.
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 Right.
So, but we're gonna get into some food news, and we're gonna try to figure out a way to creatively mention some of his headlines.
See, they're worth mentioning because they're good stories. That's the difference.
Yeah, but we'll get fired. Here we go.
A lot of good stories.
Yeah.
Venus. Violin. Valentine. Violets. Fanny. Viking Navy on a voyage over the waves. V. Vulture. Volcano.
Vegetables?
Vegetables. Vine. Vampire. Villain. Vigilantes. V. Victory.
Today's show is brought to you by the letter V.
I was totally going to jump on that line. I was hoping you'd come back with something simple, and I'd be like, today's show brought to you by letter V. Nice moves. Well done.
Of course.
What that music made me just really uncomfortable for some reason. Like it was just kind of off-putting.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Thing I feel
it's
weird
not
about.
in any way like warm or approachable like you would think children's programming would. It's like awkward and feels like something they'd run to brainwash people. Like just really
somewhat frightening.
Yeah, really strange. Letter V.
Well, as always here on RNCN, we try to have food news during the lunch break. We have three stories here. First one
three
is
food news stories.
3 food news, and they're all. Oh, there we go. 2 of them are fast food.
Don't know why I did that. That was dumb. My brain was just turn that off. Sorry.
Live censorship.
It's
great.
Talking,
yeah.
The first one is Taco Bell, and they're getting their world's most popular item they had is making a comeback. It's fairly new. It is the nacho fries.
One of the first things we discussed on the show
Yeah.
early on. We
We
discussed
went
on
and
the show.
got those. Yeah, we had a
Was
whole
not
Taco
a
Bell
fan.
how to do. Yeah.
Not a fan.
Oh, you didn't like them?
No.
The whole thing was the cheese sauce. That's
It's a cheese sauce delivery item. Yeah, I agree with that. But
Like,
the fries were
that's-
okay.
What they need to do is create like the cheese sauce nacho flavor like seasoning, and then you get your fries out and you season that with the fries.
Sure.
Now that's something.
right. And then don't make that just to jump on one more bandwagon here. Don't make that like necessarily an exclusive item. Just keep that on the side. If you come into Taco Bell, they have a shaker. You can go nuts.
What about like Doritos
you can
Locos
hit it
fries?
all day.
Sir.
Yeah.
Now
That I would be buying fries at Taco Bell.
I'd be buying everything at Taco Bell. Just buy the seasoning.
Just make it like the Mountain Dew Baja Blast. You come in, you can have as much as you want. Like that's the way to go. That's the way to do it. That's good marketing. But I guess good for them. I'd have figured it'd be something like the Cheesy Gordita Crunch, or the Doritos Locos Taco, or something popular. I didn't think the nacho fries would be their
This wasn't that good.
hot ticket item. They're okay. I don't know, man. What do you
Just
think?
French fries
They're
with
okay.
nacho
Yeah.
cheese on it.
Yeah.
It's nacho.
Yeah, that's
nacho
what it was.
cheese delivery item is exactly. Yeah. There's
I fail to see what's wrong with that.
no better description.
It is like for me, like I like where does that the hamburger place I always have a hard time saying the
McDonald's.
starts with starts with an S. Either way, you go and you pick
Snuffers?
your Snuffers.
Snuffers. No, is that not it?
No, it's
Oh,
like
man, I thought I had it.
Humdingers, but it's an S. I don't know what it is. Who cares?
Some dingers.
Humperdinks.
Humperdinks.
No, that's who cares?
There's
I'm
not
getting
an S.
way off topic here.
Steak burgers?
Fuddruckers?
Yes, Fuddruckers.
Okay, that's an S.
Yeah, yeah, but
Freddy's
Fuddruckers.
steak burgers?
There's an S in there.
There's days that I feel this tall. We're here today. Fuddruckers has a queso like
They do.
dispenser.
Oh,
yeah, they do.
yeah.
You can put all sorts of stuff on your burger.
That
there.
I like.
Yeah.
But they don't call it like nacho fries. I just sneakily add the nacho cheese on top of them and
You know,
like enjoy myself.
It's real talk. It's
Please.
weird that Fuddruckers hasn't built like an entire marketing campaign around that. You're right. We have a pump for queso, and if you get anything here, go nuts. You can put as much as you want on anything. You think they could do
Queso
something
blast
out of
your
that.
burger.
Yeah.
Can you call it queso?
No, I mean, no.
It's nacho sauce.
It is-
Sure, yeah,
Yeah.
cheese,
Yeah, it's some
cheese
kind
product.
Of, yeah.
Yeah, let's not call it
cheese
queso.
based. No, it's not even cheese based. I don't know if there's even cheese in it. Cheese product, I guess.
something.
Put some yellow on your
Sure.
food.
Yeah, it's creamy. It's good. I like
That's
it.
why they're not advertising it. What are they going to call it?
The next one is McDonald's. McDonald's is taste testing a product that I don't think will go over well, and they're taste testing the muffin tops.
Oh, I heard about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Not just the muffin, just the top part. It's the best part of
yeah.
it.
Fun fact for that, and I meant to include this in news and couldn't find the article again. The writer of the Top of the Muffin Seinfeld episode is trying to file a lawsuit against
Right, because that
McDonald's.
was like Elaine
Yeah.
was pushing for the muffin top
Yep.
thing.
Top of the muffin to you. Yeah, that was a whole
You can't,
Seinfeld
you
bit.
can't win that.
I don't know.
If they did it like right after, that's one thing. You don't own muffin tops for the rest of your life because you said it one time on a stupid TV show.
But muffin tops are always good.
Stupid TV show.
Sorry, it's a quality programming. I'm just, I get irritated when someone's like,
sir.
I wrote that line, muffin tops.
Right. I mean, it is a clever idea, but I feel like I remember hearing about that back in the day when after that episode came out. Anybody who's doing any kind of muffin top related thing, they would say that's off that Seinfeld bit. So
what I don't understand is what do you do if you're McDonald's? Are you finding a way to just make the muffin top? Are you making a muffin type item that just is shaped like a muffin top? Are you literally throwing away the bottom of the muffin?
No, are you implying that the top of the muffin is worse if you don't make it as a whole muffin and cut it off?
I mean, I think that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like that's part of the reason why people like the muffin top is because like the way it's baked.
Right. If you're trying to make the top of a muffin, you're essentially making a cake cookie. Like that's not it.
Yeah,
You got it's the muffin top. It's how it works. It comes out of the pan.
For the first time on this show, I think we have actually had like an epiphany that could be true. You're making me think here.
Right.
Yeah. Does that change? Does that change the muffin without the bottom on there? I've never thought of that before.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was probably an integral part of the process.
I mean, there's no way it'll bake the same. It just won't. It will not be a muffin top. It'll be some kind of sick Frankenstein hybrid.
The scientists at McDonald's are up to the challenge.
Trust them.
Yeah, they're
very familiar with muffin tops.
The men who made Big Mac sauce will get on top of this muffin top
Somehow they're able to
thing.
make chicken nuggets look like that, and the McRib was a genius piece of artistry, so I'm sure they can handle a muffin top.
If anybody can make white meat look like a belt and a boot, it's these guys.
Takes a tough man to make a muffin top.
That's right.
So we have now we have two stories that were just kind of fun. Now we have some actual informational stuff here.
What was informational about this?
It's fine.
Go ahead.
We have shopping market mistakes you're making right now.
Ooh,
boy, I got a list of these.
So
just closing it for Michael Jackson.
Do you go to the grocery store, or is that more of a Kristen
I do,
thing?
and I'm terrible about it. She's gone the last couple times, actually. Believe it or not, we're those like go once every 2 months shoppers, which is the worst because then you
makes the whole thing
blow
so much
way
more
too much
miserable.
money. Yeah, you're there for way too long. By the time you get out of there, you're frazzled. Then you got to get all your groceries inside and put them away. Like we're horrible about it. We need to. Yeah, should be the weekly staple. We're like once every 2 months horrible.
How do y'all eat? Just go out all the time?
No, you just buy a bunch of food. Like that's the secret.
But it goes bad.
Well, I do end up, like I said, Christine's gone the last couple times. We end up doing this like weird weekly half checkpoint thing where it's like, hey, we're out of veggies and we need more like white chicken. Can you mind swinging by on your way home? And then you're doing the half. Like it's like putting $5 in your gas tank every time you roll up instead of just filling up regularly.
Yeah.
And we're terrible about it. So it's a problem in the Lewis household.
Okay.
How do you guys shop?
We're like a once every. Well, I mean, other than the odds and ends, it's I wouldn't say it's quite once a week. Probably once every 2 weeks, and it is that thing of go and just spend way too long. I hate it. I hate going to the grocery store. It's one of my least favorite things to do.
Yeah.
It's we spend way too long in there rather than just getting the few things that I want to get and get out of there. But I don't win those arguments very often.
I actually feel pretty good about this because I think we do a great job.
Yeah.
We go twice a week. We go on Saturdays and we then are on Mondays depending. And then we go kind of on Thursday. We'll pop in. Like last night we went in, got a few odds and ends just to round out the weekend to make sure we're good sliding into Monday again.
Let's make our claim. Where are you going? Kroger, Target, Walmart?
No. I go
Trader
to
Joe's?
Market Street,
Okay.
Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, or Central Market, depending on what we need.
There's some good stuff in there.
And they're all like
sure.
a half mile away from my house.
Where are you going?
They closed down the one nearest to us, but there is a Kroger, which we have come to refer to as Crappy Kroger, because it is. It's the most horrible Kroger, and I assume other Krogers have rolled this out, but the one near us has this. It's this scan as you go thing that they've started, which is incredible. It takes a lot of the. It at least gives me something to do while we're wandering around the store.
Sure.
You get a little handheld thing. Like a little scanner, and you just scan everything as you put it in the cart. So, you buy your bread, scan it, you get your meat, scan it, whatever. And so it's just keeping a list of everything. And then you just go to the checkout, you say, hey, I'm done. And it says, okay, here's how much it costs. And you're done. Like, you just walk out.
Okay.
It's incredible. I love it. I love it. I will never go anywhere else.
Where does the food go?
What do you mean? Where does the food go?
Like you put it in your cart and you scan it as you go. So then, right, and then you get to the end, and you have a cart full of stuff, and you just hand somebody your thing, and it's like, here's everything.
You don't hand anybody
scanned.
anything. You just it's like a self checkout. You just scan the barcode on the checkout, and say, hey, I'm at this checkout counter. I'm done, and it pops up the item or it pops up the list and says, okay, pay. And so they give you bags at the beginning, so if you want to bag it as you go along, or they have bags there, like a standard self checkout.
That is wild. I was going to say, it's a real thing.
It's like the greatest leap ahead in shopping technology that I've seen probably in my lifetime. Because there was like this promise of push a cart through a thing and it scans everything and then you're done. And they never rolled that out. The Scan and Go thing, I love it. I'm Kroger all the way.
I shop at a really nice Kroger, like a really nice one, like almost HEB level nice. And there's this one up the street that is a Kroger Signature, which for those who don't know is like crappy. Those are the bad ones. That's like, we didn't have enough space. This building is bombed out, but the rent is god awful cheap. We're going for it. We're putting a Kroger in.
They can't just say crappy Kroger on this.
It's Kroger Signature. That's the difference. And if my cool, hot, love it Kroger didn't have that, and the Kroger Signature down the street got it, I would be willing to degrade my entire shopping experience to try that out at least once. I'd probably do that just the whole way. That's the way to go. There's no line at the checkout. It's
and they
perfect.
say the 3 times that I've used it, they say, hey, we'll do random checks. No one's ever checked. No one's ever checked anything.
They're not going to check.
I'm not scamming them, but I'm just saying no one's ever checked my cart when I'm done.
You ever see somebody walk out of a grocery store and as they're pushing their cart out, like the alarms go off?
Yes.
What are they, like 90% of the time they just keep walking. Nobody comes over. Some cashier will be like, go ahead, it's fine. Like nobody cares.
You're good.
You can't tell me the company that has that policy is like, we're going to be checking. Like they don't check. They're never going to check. What are you going to worry about?
Bunch of thieves in here.
What is this hot shopping topic that brought us to this wonderful conclusion?
They say not taking inventory before you go, knowing what you need to buy. So we make a list. So we have a list on our phone that's always changing.
Yeah, that's a big one. Always have a list.
Bring people who add stuff to your cart. So not bringing people who add stuff to your cart. So like not like having guests with you that like grab stuff and throw stuff in. I know when I was a kid, I always try to like grab the candy and like sneak it at the bottom, because the hope was my mom was like checking out, and then she'd be like, well, I've come too far.
You're right. You slip it in there. I'll do that sometimes with something that I want, and I'll just like put it in there while Megan's back is turned, and then I'm like, it's in the cart already. That's 3 aisles away.
Oh, I forgot. I was gonna. Oh man. Oh well. Next time we won't get it.
I go for the reverse psychology. I grab like 15 of whatever I really want and bring it over, just like holding like 18 bags of Lay's family potato. And Christine laughs and is like, how about 1? I'm like, perfect. Problem solved.
That's all I wanted anyway.
Gotta laugh. It was cute. And, and I go put it all back, to be fair. I'm never going to be the guy.
He just drops it.
Yeah, just leaves it. Like, I worked a summer at a Kroger.
Dude, there are some animals in grocery stores.
Oh, yeah.
There's stuff that's stacked everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Loose carts. It's a whole thing. Anyway, what else?
Bring your own grocery bags. Not shopping at the perimeter first. So you say you should never actually go through the aisles. It's always just walk around the side and come back in. You should never have to go through the aisle. That's where all the fresh food is.
Yeah.
Right, so you get all the food that you probably really need, and then, because that's where they get you, is you go back and forth through the aisles, and you'll pass the cookies and be like, oh, that looks pretty good, and you'll pass this or that, or some little odds and ends. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the aisle run. I go up the side and then just aisle, and just do the whole thing. And I do it because I'm terrible about the lists, and if I run through the whole thing, inevitably I'm probably just going to see everything I kind of need. And I can be in an aisle and be like, oh, yeah, tomato sauce, pasta, and then I'll like bounce and get that. Like, so if you're unorganized like me,
it's an infuriating way to shop.
There's a certain charm in doing that. Also takes a long time, but it's fine.
And the last thing they said is if you only need a basket, get a basket. Don't grab a cart, because otherwise you'll fill in what you don't need to put in there. So it's a little fun tip.
Yeah, they actually said to put the basket in the cart if you don't want to carry the basket.
Which is just fill the basket.
But just use the basket,
That would not work for me.
What, the basket?
I have extra room.
Yeah, I'll put some stuff in here.
Kind of fits. Yeah.
You guys basket? I'm a big basket fan if I can swing it.
I am.
Yeah. Like I said, for those little half stops, the $5 fill up, that's where the basket comes in.
If it's not that, the tiny shopping cart, I'm a big fan of the tiny shopping cart.
Those are great.
I don't want to hold anything. How do you hold a basket? In the crook of your arm?
With my hands.
Okay.
No, I usually hold it down to the side and try to flex a little bit so it seems a little bit tougher, like than me walking around with a basket with milk and eggs in it. Yeah.
How does that work out for you?
Fortunately, at Kroger, they're black baskets, so at least they look cool.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't work out for me at all. Yeah. And then I head over to the Higgy station and check my weight and blood pressure. It's a good time.
Jeez Louise.
I don't actually do that.
Full service stop at the grocery store.
Hey, for those of us who don't want to blow $20 on a scale, it's great. All right.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have some flight attendant shenanigans that we're going to have to dig into here on the Lunch Break Show.
Let me burn, and now we're ashes on the ground. Don't you ever say, oh, just walk away. I will always want you. I can't live a life running for my life. I will always want you. I came in like a wrecking ball. I'll never hit so hard in love. All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me. I came in like a wrecking ball. Yeah, I just closed my eyes and spun. Left me crashing in a blazing cold. All you ever did was wreck me. Yeah, you wrecked me.
Oh my God. I used to love that song.
I'd like to be totally non-biased here. I definitely cut one of those of Obama. So there's two.
I'm saving it.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll get
I
to
got
that
it.
at some point.
Okay.
Because I found that one originally, and frankly, I like it more
It's a
than the
good
Obama one.
It's a really good.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Obama one's
regardless
good.
of your opinions
We'll
on
get to
Trump,
it.
that's a good video.
Right, yeah, and I didn't want it to seem like I was being pointing fingers or anything. So there's two, I promise. Like, it's not... yeah.
My favorite is the... like that has like the spot on.
Oh gosh.
Well done.
Thank you.
So we have two stories to talk about. We have some dumb criminals who made the news, which is a hilarious story.
Who doesn't love dumb criminals?
I love dumb criminals. Do you want to do that first, Matt, or do you want to do that?
We can. Yeah, we can. There's no sound on this video, so we'll need to break it down as we go. But this comes to us from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Okay. The Canucks.
I didn't know crime happens in Canada.
It does indeed. It does
Believe
indeed.
it or not.
And
Yeah.
so, we'll just start this video here. And you see they're already trying to take this one gentleman down with his, I guess, girlfriend.
Is that a... what?
He makes a break for it. I've edited this for time. So there's some times where he's laying on the ground.
That way.
No,
he
not going that way.
Almost ducked in.
I love this. He picks up a bag of like pumpkin seeds as a weapon, which he's been the.
Are you trying to get up? Good Lord.
Just tase him.
Ooh, there it is.
She's got a bag of something. She's making a break for it. Meanwhile, he's trying to again run away.
He's back up.
Shoved into the Oreo stand.
Oh, bathroom's no good.
So she flushed whatever she had.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, see where this is going.
Man, her hands are shaking.
Well, she's nervous. She's fighting the cops.
Yeah.
No, she's making her getaway here.
Oh,
This is a good plan. It's a really good plan. An air duct of some sort, I assume.
Oh! Look, she fixes her hair and tries to walk out.
I like the hands up. No, it's cool. It's cool.
She tucks her hair behind her
What's
ear.
everyone talking about? No, it's fine.
Where'd her shoe go? Look.
So from here they round them up and
oh no.
Why? Just okay. So,
Just
you know,
another Tuesday
holiday.
at Tim Hortons.
I think the thing you learn there from the officer is you tase a lot. Once he throws something at you, he's tackled you before. Just get it over with. Tase them, cuff them.
Very restrained officers. And that, I mean, he's fighting with them. He's running from them. They get a couple of good tackles in though.
They do, yeah. I remember when I was doing my stint with the volunteer police force of Plano, Texas. Again, no official capacity.
Your days
I'm legally
on the force.
Obligated to say that.
Yeah.
There was a story this guy told where he goes, yeah, there was a bank robbery, and he goes, the guy took off and like was running through neighborhoods, and he goes, so this guy is a bigger guy, built like me but thinner, obviously. And he was running, and he goes, so I took off in foot pursuit. They told me a trick if you ever want to get away from a cop in a foot pursuit. Which I don't know why they ever tell me that. Probably didn't think I was a threat. But the deal is to pace yourself.
Right.
They said that most people, when they're in a pursuit, they run way too fast.
Right.
And they burn all their energy.
They're like sprinting.
They sprint. He goes, if you just do a good gait, and you're as fast or faster than the cop, you're fine.
Yep. Check that heart rate.
There you go. A good gait.
Keep it solid.
Monitor. The hard part is when the cops are there and they're chasing you, it's hard to remember that. Keep a good gait.
Right.
keep this nice and steady. I'm in it for the long haul here.
Usually officers of the law here in the States have ranged weapons, and that might encourage you to run a little faster.
Sure.
So you want to keep a pace, yeah, but you're right. You want to, pace yourself.
Yeah, but he said that he captured the guy about like 300 yards away. He was like on the ground, panting, trying to grasp for air. This guy's, I'm carrying 50 pounds on my back and trying to hop over the same fences that you're hopping over. So we're both gasping for air, and I have him in cuffs. He's like, I can't breathe. He's like, I can't either. They're all like wrestling around. So
imagine running 300 yards full out and then getting tased. Like how does a body even handle that? Like no wonder you can't breathe. You know.
Oh, well, he didn't get tased. He's got tackled. But still,
so I should imagine. Yeah,
man, it's one of those crazy things. And then you know what? The flight attendant thing is another one of those stories where the flight attendant got the boot because another Delta ad. But I think there's an actual bigger story that I want to go to, and that's the cup date. We have Andy and Amanda. Andy come in, but Amanda was said she would come in. So if she can hear the show, come on down, Amanda, because something did happen in the World Cup that's never happened before, and I didn't write down in my notes, so I forgot about it.
Right.
But
we don't know what it is.
This whole time he's been waiting in the wings for us to call him in.
Yeah, we have the update for the World Cup, the cup date is what we're calling it. They have something happened, and it's under their Fair Play Act, which again has never happened before.
The Fair Play Act.
While we wait on Andy, do you want to watch this dog doing CPR?
Oh well, by God, yeah.
Here, I'll go get him. You guys do the dog thing.
Okay.
This is from the Madrid police force. Oh, he saved him.
Adorable. So that was while we were waiting for the cup date. That was the police dog who gave CPR to its owner, which was an adorable video. Yeah. Adorable video. We're going web. So we're talking real quick. We're going to recap. I almost forgot the cup date. It's important.
I thought you did forget.
And
so
it's important because it's the first time it's ever happened. So just to recap, last Wednesday, Amanda was sitting out there watching the big TVs as Germany lost. Not to bring it back up for no reason, but just to bring people aware that these are the two people who are the most invested in the World Cup, I would say, in our offices.
Yes.
That'd be a fair point to make.
It was devastating.
So silver lining, probably not the most devastating thing you've seen on television this year. So
this year,
yeah,
I don't know.
Just gonna leave that vague.
It's kind of close though.
Yeah,
pretty bad because we had to watch simultaneously, like Sweden totally defeat Mexico and then South Korea score goals on Germany, which I never thought as a sentence I would say.
This is a big year for South Korea. A lot of big things happening for them. They're excited.
Crazy things happen.
They had the big Mo going in their favor going into the World Cup.
Germany's the big one, right?
Yeah. Well,
It's
was.
one of.
Because you had an analogy the other
was.
day, and I don't remember what it was, to bring it down to somebody like me who does not understand sports at
I mean,
all.
they're the reigning.
Well, Germany was
the
the
reigning
world
champs.
last
Right.
Yeah.
time,
One
and
of
now
four
they
times.
are
The
totally
best.
kicked out in the first bracket.
which is
It's
wild.
humiliating.
South
It's
Korea.
important to remember they were playing down 2 lead players. One of their players got a red card in the
The other one
previous
got-
game, and when you get a red card, you have to sit out the next game.
Mm.
And then someone else got their nose broken in the
Really
Sweden
badly.
game, so he was out as
He got
well.
a cleat to the face.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it was bad.
I was hoping it was like a pop-up ball that got
No,
him, or he
like
went
he
for a
got
header.
a
or
cleat
something.
flat in the face, and his nose was pouring
Yeah.
blood everywhere, and he was
Golly.
pissed. So yeah,
I can imagine.
So the cup that is, there's now how many teams are left?
16.
Yeah, we're in the
16
top
teams.
16 knockout round.
So with Germany being gone, Amanda, who are you rooting for now?
I said that if Mexico made it and Germany did not, I would transfer my allegiance to Mexico
Ooh.
because
Viva.
they earned it.
Yeah.
They played really well until they didn't.
Long live the
But
king. I love it.
all I really want is Russia to lose.
Sure. Seems like,
Like,
a good thing for
Reasonable.
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want Russia to lose in their home country because
I love it.
think
If
it'd
my
be
team can't win,
hysterical.
that other one had better lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Mexico is playing Brazil like right off the bat, so it's gonna
Tough.
be a tough one, and that's on Monday. So
That's a tough draw. So we have the thing that broke records, or for the first time that's ever happened in a World Cup game, is it came down to the fair play rule, which has been kind of unheard of because it hadn't really ever come up. So usually if 2 teams, you play in a bracket, you each play the team, so you have 3 games
Right.
where you play all 4 in the bracket. And then they go, whoever has the best record, the top 2 move on, the bottom 2 are gone. That's
And there's like
kinda
a
how it
point
works.
system, right?
Sure.
So many for a win, a draw, or
If
I
you
guess
win,
none
you
for a
get 3
loss.
points.
Yep.
If you draw, you get 1 point. If you lose,
Right.
you get no points. And so, well, these 2 teams, Japan and Senegal, were tied. They had the same amount of points. So if they have the same amount of points, then they go into goal differential. Well,
Right.
the goal differential was the same. So
If
then
you
they
scored more goals in your games versus the other team,
so
but they
you
were
go-
the same.
Yeah. And then you go into, well, okay, how many goals were scored against you? And those were the same. And they got down to where they had to go to yellow cards, which your yellow cards, if you're unfamiliar, it's like a warning. Like, hey, that was a really bad foul.
Wow.
You get a warning. It went down to the warning cards. And unfortunately, Senegal had 6. And Japan had 4, so Japan gets to move on, and Senegal gets to go home. That's gotta be, if you're a
Yeah, that would
Senegal
be-
fan, Senegal
yeah.
fan,
Senegalese fan.
and then thank you. If you're a fan of that team, that has got to be the worst way to lose.
Well, there's still another level. If everything is completely even, it will eventually just go down to casting lots, rolling dice.
Is that really what it goes down to?
Yes.
That,
Oh,
that to me
wow.
would be more enraging, just like
bones.
a lost dice.
At,
But,
that,
you know.
at that point, you've completely removed the skill. You'd think
Yeah,
they just
it's
have
just
the 2 teams
luck.
play each other and be
They
like, first
played.
one to score wins.
They played. They
Play
got
again.
a draw.
Oh, you mean just play again?
Just
like
go
shoot
again.
goals
Yeah,
and
like
see the first person to score
Wouldn't
a
you
goal?
rather have that than just
Or do
absolute
penalty
luck?
kicks or something
I think
until
it's just
Yeah.
time. It's
But
just
that's
like
what we
time
get.
and
That's what we
effort
get
and-
in the 16 round. We get that kind of
Yeah.
finite thing. But that's what makes the group stage so fun and so interesting. Is you can lose a game, you
And
can
still
lose
make
in
it.
time, and still go on.
Weird.
There you go.
Well, that was part of why, like Germany didn't advance because they won their game, but they needed
Yeah, so if they had,
Sweden to lose or something like that, and that did not.
well, yes, sort of. So they needed to, like, Mexico needed to lose, so that was fine. But then Germany needed to score 1 point, and they couldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Soccer. That's why it's a beautiful game. It involves math, involves skill, involves science.
it involves acting.
Acting, yeah. Thank you guys so much for the Cup Day. I appreciate it. Join us here on Monday. We'll be having the results from Mexico by then at 12 o'clock.
Yep,
did
they
win?
play at 9. In the
So we'll
morning.
have the results in the Mexico game, and we'll all be wearing our green and red and white.
Is everybody
and
for
support.
Mexico, I think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well.
Yeah.
Here we go. Thank you guys so much. See you back on Monday. There you go. On Monday at 12 o'clock. Thank you.